Morning, market snipers. This is Jesse. It's 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Hope everyone's doing well. Lot to cover as usual on the charts. Of course, every single day gives us new opportunities, and it never gets boring, never gets old. I could always stare at these charts. I would say, we stare at them obsessively. So if you're on the live crew, make sure to comment. Let me know that you're here. Say what's up. We got some comments coming in right now. Let's take a look. John. I agree, John. Hit the like and enjoy the live. But if you're on the replay crew, definitely comment as well, because if you comment the assets as a replay crew, or you notify me on the Discord, someone a newer Discord member tagged me in the Discord and wanted to look at coin today. So coin is on the chart. We're going to look at coin. So shout out to the new Discord member. Let's see who else. But I agree, John. Hit the like button. Thank you. Appreciate it. Emilio, good morning. Good morning, Emilio. Appa and Momo, hello. Good morning, Appa and Momo. Rick's Money Makers Helton. I know you just want me to say Rick, but we've got the name Rick. We've got to call it by you. Rick's Money Makers Helton. Hi, Jesse. Been traveling, but great to be back with you. Awesome, Rick. Welcome back to the live stream. Hopefully you've been able to catch the recordings. A lot has been covered, and what we thought could happen as one of the main scenarios on a lot of these charts has happened and is happening in real time. So we'll continue to watch it step by step, level by level. Per 06, good morning, and welcome back to the live stream as usual. Shankar, good morning. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you. So we're going to go through the first 15 to 30 minutes as usual. We're going to go through, like the NASDAQ futures. We're going to go through the 10-year yield, the dollar, the VIX. They're all pumping. They're all still bullish. SQQQ, which I put a video out 3 days ago as a potential, it's a bear ETF, the inverse of the QQQs, right? NASDAQ. Of course, we're going to cover Bitcoin. Duh. Of course, we're going to cover Bitcoin. And then we're going to cover the last 15 to 30 minutes. We're going to cover what you want to see. For example, coin, right? So coin was on there. We'll also take a look at the Magnificent Seven. So we've got a lot to cover. Who else? Oswaldo, good morning. Good morning. And Jacob, good morning. Good morning, Jacob. All right. So let's jump right into it. Let's get right into the NASDAQ futures, right? We have that on the chart. Let's go ahead and that. And, right before we get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe. I know you guys are already commenting, but definitely don't forget to hit the like button. I think that matters a lot. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll get right back to it. Okay, so we went big screen, the big chart, right? And, the quick recap is that we've been talking about for a while, the bearish divergence, lower high, second lower high after hitting target one. And then we were on the live streams talking about this breakdown here on September 15th. So 2 weeks later, I always like to do a little bit of a recap, number one for myself. But if you're brand new to the live streams, you're brand new to me on YouTube, you're brand new to, the X app, brand new to the Discord, whatever, I like to do a recap of what we've been talking about and kind of get in the flow. Jacob, first time watching a stream. Awesome. Welcome here. But follow your Twitter for 6 months now. Oh, okay. Awesome. So you've been around. Some of the followers, Jacob, have been around on the X app, aka Twitter, for more than 2 years, right? So But your question is, do you chart any alts? Definitely. If you look in the right-hand side, and we covered alts, if there's something major going on, we're definitely going to cover them. And of course, we're doing, Jacob, we're doing, if you want me to chart a crypto asset, I'm happy to do so. So crypto, stocks, futures, Forex, whatever you want me to chart. Of course, Bitcoin is going to be on there, NASDAQ futures, all that stuff. We've got this list right here of some altcoins on there and stuff like that. So yes, the answer to the question is definitely, definitely. Arnold, good morning, Arnold. Longtime Discord, Twitter, forever. Crude oil boss. Okay, give me the Zach ticker symbol. Are you looking at US oil or what ticker symbol are you looking at? We'll get to it. Solana, Sol, crypto. I'm hoping to buy some much lower price. You got it. All right, we'll come back to the comments. We'll come back to the requests. We're gonna jump into the charts. Let's get a flow going, and then I'll come back to all the comments. So get your assets in on the comments, and we'll go. So, after the candle closed here, it went kind of sideways, started to break down, kind of did a little bit of a back test, not much, and then broke down again. Now we even have the trending dots breaking down below the trend line, right? So this is a long-term upward trend line from the rally, right? So if you zoom out on the weekly chart, that's what you're going to see. But even the trending dots has broken it. So doesn't mean it's going to go straight down to target 2 right off the bat. It could. It's breaking down from target 1 right now. But expect bounces along the way, right? So whether that's right before target 2, whether that's tomorrow comes back up, expect bounces along the way. But the daily chart is bearish, right? The weekly chart hasn't even gone bearish yet, right? So, the weekly chart is lagging. It's a lagger. It takes longer for the weekly chart to roll over, even though there was that bearish divergence, right? Even though there was bearish divergence, even though there was an RSI sell signal, and even though this looks like a lower high on the weekly chart, there's no sell signal yet. There probably will be in the near future. I'm not a fortune teller, but I can tell you, a lot of the stocks that are holding up the market or that helped pump the market up on that rally was the Magnificent Seven. And we'll get into the Magnificent Seven. I put out a post earlier on the X app, talking about the Magnificent Seven. I think there's like 4 of them that look like it could have a pending sell signal. There's 2 with a pending sell signal, and of course, Apple with a sell signal. So that's NASDAQ. It's still trending downward, and it could just be getting started. I'm continuing to hold my short position. You can see it's breaking down from target box 2, right? Full disclosure, obviously this is not a pump and dump channel, right? We don't shill, we don't do anything, but if I am in a position and I'm covering it, I'll let you know that I'm in a position covering it. Or if I'm not, I'll a lot of times I'll let you know too. So yes, US crude oil, normally when dollar rise. Okay, we'll take a look at it. You got it. So that's the NASDAQ. Bearish on the daily, not even bearish on the weekly chart yet, but it is trending that way. So let's keep going. Let's jump on the 10-year yield. We have ultra bullish on the daily chart. Quick comment, 4K mods. Good morning. Hello, 4K mods. Welcome back. Ultra bullish on the daily chart. We've been talking about this. I put out these posts sometimes. Who lit the candles on fire, right? So unfortunately, if you're in the mortgage industry or, if if the interest rates are impacting you, then I apologize. I don't want to come off as like, I'm laughing at people's pain or anything like that. I don't want to be insensitive, but at the same time, like the indicator itself, I talk about the candle as being on fire. It's ultra bullish. You can see there's a magic wand on top of it. It's yes, some people would say it's overbought. And what the snipers say is when it's overbought, sometimes is when the magic happens. So we actually have, a magic wand above it, right? And then it continued to be quote unquote overbought, right? But it was ultra bullish and it had some more weekly candles above. It's trending hard up into that next target area, right? It's in the 5%. If you look at the monthly chart and kind of zoom out here, right? Then you can see where the last buy signal was back here in September 2021. And interest rates, the 10-year yield was at 1.47% roughly. Call it 1.5%, right? It's been bullish ever since. The trending dots are trending up. You got this longer term trend line, hit target one, broke out of this 40, I think it's a 40-year downward. Let's see, 87. Oh, yeah. So almost a 40-year downward trend. We're calling this out in real time, back in March 2022, that we had a monthly close above the downward 40-year trend of lower rates, right? So, and it wasn't something not to like pay attention to. And then target one was hit, target two was hit. And now it seems like the rates continue to trend towards target three. It's going to impact the markets. It's going to impact housing. It's impacting the markets. It's impacting housing. It's impacting jobs. It's just jobs reports are, they're usually like, for example, the civilian unemployment rate on my chart here is a monthly chart. So it's lagging, right? So, but it is starting to look bullish. Let's keep going. This is the dollar. It went bullish back here on the monthly chart. We were talking about it September 2021. We followed the move all the way up. We were talking about the correction here. It hit 3 out of the 4 targets and it flipped back around just above the target, but right at the 200-week moving average, right? So if you look at the weekly chart, you can kind of see it a little bit better. Had this big, massive move on the dollar, followed by the breakdown where it hit, like I said, 3 of the 4 targets, kind of consolidated. We're watching this in real time, and then boom, break out of the downward trend line, followed by a buy signal, target 1, target 2, and now the DXY is closing in on target 3 of the retracement. So 2 things, 2 thoughts on this, right? So you've got 2 thoughts. Real quick. Good morning, Emmanuel. Welcome back. Sniper team. All right. What's up? Aldo, back on the live stream. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Aldo. Welcome back. All right. So it's the weekly chart is bullish. Had the breakout, had the buy signal. The trending dots are trending up. It's almost going to hit target 3, right? So if you were bearish on the dollar and this is just a retracement, then you're going to look like it's going to look like something like this, right? Right? That's what you're kind of looking for, or some sort of retracement like that. If you're bearish on the dollar, right? If you're bullish on the dollar, you're going to look for something like this. It comes up, maybe consolidates, right? Comes up, hits another target, consolidates, and continues upward, right? So that's what it's going to look like. These targets are resistance, right? You got key target areas that we're targeting for a reason. There's a confluence of reasons for these targets. And if it hits it, it's resistance. If it flips the resistance into support, we're still looking at it to be continue to be bullish, right? But it's a weekly chart, so it could take some time to play out. So, drawing like just a make-believe trend line, because it's not even a second point yet, but kind of lining up with like the trending dots, right? So I can see where comes up, hits target 3, maybe even target 4, and then goes through correction if you're bullish on the dollar longer term, and then find support like at the trending dots, and we would end up drawing out a future trend line similar to this, right? Maybe there's even a fake out to the downside and then continues up higher, right? So, and then maybe it retests, the 113 range, right back up here where the weekly chart is, right? Maybe the top wick at 114, and then we'll see from there. But before we get to all of that, we're worried about hitting target 3. So, like I said, we always take it level by level, continue to watch it. Let's keep moving. The VIX, we're calling this out. Back here on the daily chart, we had dropped down to the daily chart, and we were watching it. Watch out for the breakout on the daily chart. There was a buy signal even on the weekly. Kind of had a fake out above this downward trend line, came all the way back down, and then we were talking about it again, breaking out again, and it did hit target 1 again. Then it's into target 2 now. Then we still have target 3 and target 4. So very similar thought process to the dollar. If you're bullish on the VIX, you're gonna want to see, meaning that you're kind of bearish on the market, you want to see price hit these targets, and instead of getting rejected and coming all the way back down, you'd want to see it come up, flip the resistance into support, and then continue up, right? If you're bullish on the VIX, as an example, right? So that's what you're kind of watching there. Let's look at the daily chart. Yep, still bullish on the daily chart. Could start to get ultra bullish on the daily chart. It is bullish on the weekly chart, and I haven't looked at the monthly. The monthly is showing signs of strength on the monthly, but we're going to take it level by level, and it's coming up into the 200-week moving average, which is at $20.45. So that's the VIX. Let's see what else. Oh, okay. If you haven't seen it, go check out the video. I did a video and I labeled it high risk opportunity, right? So basically the inverse of the QQQs is the SQQQ, right? So this is the daily chart. Take a look at it. I did a little bit of a deeper dive. I did the video 3 days ago. You can find it on the free newsletter. You can find it on YouTube. So go take a look at it. So it broke out, right? It broke out on the daily chart. As you can see, coming up, I just kind of put in like if price were to hit target 1 from where it's at right now, and just hits kind of like the middle. Let's see, I mapped it out about right here at about $21. And I am in a long position, right? I only bought stock of SQQQ. I didn't actually do options on this because it's already a 3x leveraged ETF bear short, right? So I didn't feel the need to go into the options, calculate the contracts to how long I want to make the contracts, all that stuff like that. But it's already a fast mover. So I put some, a little bit more than lunch money, but I didn't push all my chips in. I didn't roll the dice and bet the farm on it, right? But I did put a little bit more than lunch money, a little bit more than steak dinner money, right? So it is a little bit more up there, but I didn't bet the farm. I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket. But we were talking about the buy signal. We're talking about the breakout, right? Even like a preliminary breakout here. We're talking about all that. The weekly chart starting to flip around bullish. And so here's where I want to dive in a little bit more. I kind of drew out this for timing purposes of SQQQ, right? For timing purposes, got this kind of upward trend line on RSI. You can kind of see possibly all the way through October, November, it could be in this upward trend, right? So kind of watch it. It doesn't mean it can't come back down and kind of just, do the loop-de-loop, right? and then go through a correction, right? So kind of watching it, our side kind of do this and then be in this upward trend, and all while you know, price comes up into this target and maybe it does something similar. It's like spiking, it's down, it's spiking, it's down, hitting targets, right? And then we'll see after that. Maybe it comes down after that, or it hits target 2. So we're gonna take it level by level, and we're kind of watching out. And it seems like maybe we could push this trade for a month. Maybe we could push the trade is a swing trade for me. So maybe we could push it for a week. Maybe it's only a couple of days. Maybe it's a month. Maybe it's even longer. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Caesar, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back, Caesar. Good morning. So that's the SQQ. If you want to take a look at the video, I put it out 3 days ago. It's still there, right? So we had a request for coin, so we're going to come back to that. I want to take a look at the Magnificent Seven. If you guys want to look at any altcoins, let me know. Put it in the comments. Let's see. NVIDIA. Looks like it's breaking back down in NVIDIA. So we actually talked about this on the live streams. You can go back to them and see exactly what I said. But it was a potential that we see a lower high, wherever that lower high is, whether that was coming into the training dots or not. But you can see that drew this out in advance that could see a lower high, come down, like even go below the longer term trend line, kind of fake out and then fake back up, trap some more bulls and then see if it breaks down from there, right? Creating that another, slight lower high before coming back down to the target. So, and we even talked about, it's like, wherever that lower high is, that would be another higher probability of short the bounce. So it looks like it is breaking down yet again on the daily chart. It was bearish, and there was a sell signal back here on the 8th. And of course, we were talking about the breakdown back here, way back from the bearish divergence. And if we zoom out here, on the weekly chart, we have we don't even have a pending sell signal in the weekly chart. So as you can see, we are the weekly chart is, it just takes time for the weekly chart to play out, as I talked about on the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ futures. But we do have a target 2 here, about $350 roughly. We have this massive 20% gap down here where I put the emoji, right? You can't see it on the weekly chart really. And then we have target 3, confluence comes right in at where the 20% gap is. And we have the 200-week moving average all the way down here at $210, and a fourth target at about $250. So we're going to find out if NVIDIA comes down all the way there. As you can see, right, that's a huge, massive gap. And we're watching NVIDIA break down in real time after the bearish divergence, right? So you had the bearish divergence all the way to here. Bearish divergence, sneaky lower high. This could be another sneaky lower high. It's bearish, and the weekly chart hasn't even gotten bearish yet. There's not even a pending sell signal yet. Let's keep going. Meta, we're at about 24 minutes. Keep going. We'll go through the comments too. All right. So Meta, aka Facebook, right? Looks like it's starting to roll back over. So you had the bearish divergence again that we talked about. Price hit 2 targets. This could be the lower high. It looks like it's kind of holding on, but could just end up start breaking back down. Obviously, come back, retest target 2, and then we'll be looking at target 3, and or maybe it does something similar to like NVIDIA and the NASDAQ, where it kind of rolls down like this, hits target 3, kind of traps, puts in another lower high, and then rolls back down. So looking at very similar to possibly how the NASDAQ and NVIDIA was playing out, maybe Meta and Facebook also play out that way. So we'll keep an eye on it. But again, no pending sell signal on the weekly chart, but there was bearish divergence. There was an RSI sell signal, and it's way too early to call it, but it could be this could potentially be that lower high on Meta. So we'll keep going. Whew. Amazon's got a pending sell signal on the weekly chart, right? So pending sell on the weekly chart, had a weekly breakdown here, had that bearish divergence on the weekly chart, followed by RSI sell signal, and now we have a pending sell signal on the weekly chart. If we look at the daily chart, we're talking about the bearish divergence. Then it was starting to break down, then had a sell signal and broke down below the longer term upward trend line. Trending dots started to curl over and start to flip red, right? So then the second day after the sell signal, gap back down, target 1, closing in on target 2 and the 200-week moving average. It's still bearish on the daily, and now it's flipping bearish on the weekly chart. Amazon and Facebook are 2 of the 7 of the Magnificent 7 that have already retested the March 2020 lows and or gone below it. So it looks like it's closing in on retesting the 200-week moving average. We're going to see if it comes back down, hits these targets. You got this upward trend line here, confluence with target 3, right? So you do have a confluence here. Maybe it could find support like this, target 2, get a bounce, lower high, right? And then we'll see after that. So it's a lot of speculation. This would take a long time to play out, most likely. You're looking at the weekly chart. So that's a possibility on Amazon. Let's keep going. Here's Microsoft. Pending sell signal on Microsoft. Again, bearish divergence, RSI sell signal. Price broke down, came all the way back up, back tested the trend line. Looks like it put in that lower high here, right? Put in that lower high, came down, lower high, back into target 1, pending sell signal. The probabilities continue to increase that Microsoft will come back down, hit target 2. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. You always got to do your own research, have your own plan mapped out, as this is only for education and entertainment purposes. Hopefully we entertain you sometimes too. We'll try to get some more dad jokes here and there. That's Microsoft. Let's look at the daily chart. Bearish on the daily chart, right? So could come down. Maybe there's some profit taking before target 2, bounces, rips in the other direction. If you buy those rips, if you buy those dips in a downturn, you better sell those rips, right? That's the old saying. But those are counter trends. I'd rather trend with the trend. I would rather trade with the trend. So what that means is that as the longer term trend is rolling over, I'd rather short the lower highs. I'd rather short the bounce than try to capture this buy here. I'd rather wait for this and then short that down because it's a bigger move to the downside. So Tesla. All right, Tesla's breaking down still, right? You got bearish divergence going back to hitting a key target area, right? Very small gap up here, but I'm going to leave the gap up there. Maybe it'll be a longer term thing to pay attention to. But after the bearish divergence, broke down, came all the way down, hit, I think that was like the third target, right? Hit target 3, rallied, put in that lower high, very similar to the NASDAQ futures. It was like a potential lower high. And then we were talking about another potential lower high. And this turned out in hindsight, looks like is the lower high. Started to break back down. Candle closed back below the upward trend line. Candle closed below the trending dots. The next day, there was a sell signal, right? And it's just bearish on the daily chart. Trending dots, trending back down, the red. The probabilities are increasing that this target gets retested. Then we're going to find out if this target gets hit along with the 200-week moving average, and so on and so on. This is an older gap. It's not a huge gap. But it's 5%. So, it's something to put on the charts. It's something to pay attention to. There is a 5% gap here. And if you look, let's see, where is the March? Let me zoom out here a little bit. Where is the March 2020 low? Where is it? March 2020 low, way back here, right? $24. There's no way Tesla would come back to the March 2020 lows, right? No way. Well, we're going to put it on the chart anyways. We're going to put this on the chart as an awareness. Other stocks have come back to the March 2020 lows, including Amazon, including Facebook, and several other stocks, Netflix, Disney, other major stocks. I'm not just talking about small caps. I'm talking about large companies have already come back to the March 2020 lows. Let's change that. Let's have this as an awareness, right? March 2020 low, right? I think a lot of people wouldn't be ready for that if that were to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying as an awareness, no way. No way it would drop another 90%, right? No way. It's possible, right? But before we get to the March 2020 lows, it's got to retest this target. Then it's got to retest this target, and then this target, and then fill this gap. So it's a long ways to go before even talking about March 2020 lows. However, other stocks have, so it's possible that Tesla could as well. It's on the chart. Sorry, Apple. Apple is breaking down. Apple is bearish on the daily chart, right? Had this bearish divergence. Price broke down. We're covering this on Discord. We're covering it on the X app. Then we're covering it on the live streams, talking about this lower high. It did play out that way. Partially filled the gap within like 0.45%, as we keep talking about, and then talked about this, possibly put in another lower high, wherever it is, up here or down here, and then started to break back down. Since then has hit target 2, and now it's trending back down to hit target 3. And oh, by the way, there was a sell signal on the weekly chart. The weekly chart is bearish on Apple. We've talked about this. It was a $3 trillion asset. And if we look now, it's currently at, shout out to Colson. I don't think he's here, but Colson was doing the math yesterday on the live stream, saying that, if we came down to hit target 3, it'd be around target 2, it'd be about 2.7 trillion. It's true. It's at 2.65 trillion, as you can see here on the market cap, where my cursor is the bottom right-hand corner. It's kind of small print, but it's 2.65. If we come all the way down here, seems like it would be around like 2.55 trillion or 2.5 trillion. So Apple is bearish on the weekly chart. Apple is one of the stocks that hasn't even retested the 200-week moving average, let alone the March 2020 low, right? March 2020 low is way back here, right? March 2020 low. So before it does that, it needs to hit target 3, then it needs to hit target 4, and then possibly retest the 200-week moving average, which it has not yet. And then, the overall market obviously would be crashing if it was coming back to the March 2020 lows, including the NASDAQ futures. Way too early to call that, but it is bearish on the weekly. It is bearish on the daily. Let's look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart doesn't look good, right? Looks like it's, if we zoom out here, this is kind of interesting. Let me move this out of the way. You've got bearish divergence on the monthly chart. So you got bearish divergence here. You got bearish divergence here, right? Higher prices, lower RSI. Higher prices, lower RSI. So I'm seeing a potential of price coming back below the 200-week moving average. I'm seeing a potential of price going sub 130. You know, I think a lot of people would be surprised if we saw Apple sub 130. Uh, Obviously, many would be surprised if we saw sub 60 and price come all the way back down to the March 2020 lows. That remains to be said. You know, in hindsight, maybe it will, but I'm seeing reasons why with the long-term bearish divergence on the monthly chart, we could see prices come all the way back down below the 200-week moving average and come below the sub 130. So it's possible. And if you kind of do the eyeball test, that looks like a potential support, you know, sub 110. We'll see how it goes from there, but that's Apple. Monthly RSI, the relative strength of the monthly chart is leaving. There's bearish divergence going back to 2020, right? The weekly chart is bearish. There was that sell signal. It's dropping. Means the NASDAQ futures is going to continue to drop, most likely. Daily chart is dropping, right? Bearish, bearish, bearish. Let's go to Google. Let me know if you have any questions on what I'm talking about for Apple or NVIDIA, 4K mods, OPOR, NVIDIA. Yep, OPOR, NVIDIA. Yep. And it's not that I'm not a fan. I talk about this. I'm a fan of Apple. I have an iPhone since one of the, I think iPhone 3 or 4. I wasn't an early adapter, but Apple 3 or 4. It's on Apple 15 now. I just got this for streaming purposes. I just got this gaming laptop to handle the live streams, and it's got NVIDIA GeForce, in it to push it. So I'm a fan. It's not that I'm not a fan. I'm literally just trading and charting and reading the charts as I see them, right? So it has nothing to do with that I'm against the products whatsoever, or I'm for the products, depending on what it is. Google, I use Google search every day for probably for 15, 20 years, right? So fan of Google search. Bearish divergence, longer term. We were talking about this on the live streams. You can go back to those recordings. Watch for the breakdown, watch for the breakdown, watch for the breakdown. Then it broke down, sell signal, followed by follow through. Just barely pierced target 1. So then we're talking about, will it find support, right? Will it find support, put in a lower high? Maybe it's a more shallow lower high, right? But I put this line here where they could possibly fill a gap, put in a lower high similar to Apple, and then see if it kind of rolls over after that. So that's what we're kind of watching on Google. Weekly chart, there's no sell signal on the weekly chart yet, but there is that longer term bearish divergence. We have gaps down below. We have targets down below, confluence. We have the 200-week moving average down here at 104. So that's Google. That's Google. That's Google. We're at 9:38. We're 38 minutes into it. We're going to start getting into the requests. Let me know if you have questions and if you want me to chart anything, but we're going to jump right into it. Let's go back to the comments. See if I missed any. Aldo, could we do BCH? Sure, we can do that. I'm working backwards on the comments now. Croc stock, let's say I'm looking for an entry level. At this moment, is it touching the 200-week moving average and is slightly below the resistance line? What would be the best way to approach this? Okay, let's take a look. We'll take a look at it. Yep, 4K mods. Can we still get in near breakout SQQ? Apple and Momo, this is not a financial advice or copy trading, right? So you have to decide what your strategy is. If you're an investor, maybe you're watching the weekly chart. There's not even a buy signal on the weekly chart. Is it a little bit late to the party for my liking? Sure. Yeah, because I'm doing it based off the daily chart. So the daily chart had a buy signal already on SQQQ. it just depends. Are you using lunch money? Are you using, like an amount that you could take a friend to lunch and you could spend, $50 or more, $100 on lunch and not even think twice about it? Like, what is your overall strategy? Like, is it too late? Is it still near? So the weekly chart is still early on the weekly chart. It seems like there's never a guarantee. It's an extremely high risk asset. So if you're not sure, then I would err on the side of caution and I wouldn't trade. Caesar, yep, good morning. Already said hello. Short position is only 20% size of what I would like to have in this position. Watching closely and planning to add. Okay. Maybe you're talking about CAS. Take a short position CAS with 10x leverage. Entry is that. Ooh, okay. We'll take a look at it. All right. Let's go back to the top now and look at the requests. Oh, take that off. Let's see. All right. John, Emilio. Let's see. Well, let's start with coin because that was the first request that I saw. Coin from the Discord. Let's go to coin, and then we'll keep going through the list. Oh, Bitcoin. We didn't even cover Bitcoin. So, oops. All right, let's cover Bitcoin, and then we'll get into the requests. It'll go Bitcoin, coin, and then looks like crude oil, U.S. oil. We'll take a look. So it is bearish on the daily chart, right? I kind of drew this downward. It's not really it's not a parallel channel, but it is a channel, that's kind of contracting a little bit, right? I just kind of drew it out. So this is like your downward upward and your downward lower channel. So kind of drew that out after target 2 is hit, right? It started to break back down and then it's trending back down and it's bearish, right? It was looking at, on the hourly chart, it had a big pump up here and then just reversed straight back down 2 hours later. So, probably trapped some more longs, got some more people excited, and then it's right back to where it is, still looking bearish on the daily chart. If you look in the weekly chart, obviously it's still bearish in the weekly. We've been covering that, right? Been covering this for a long time, weeks, if not months of potential breakdown, bearish divergence, followed by breakdown. This could end up putting in like a more shallow lower high. Might not be done either. Like it could still kind of build this out, maybe sideways and then come down, right? But as of right now, it's still bearish on the weekly chart. It's bearish on the daily chart. And so we've been covering that. Let's take a look at the 2-week chart. 2-week chart. 2-week chart is bearish. Yeah, the sell signal back here mid-August, right? Price has been closing below that. And now you see like the trending dots starting to slowly roll over and it's got a red dot, right? Let's take a look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart went bullish, kind of battled, and then went back bearish, right? So never even had a buy signal on the RSI. Never had a buy signal here, and it's currently bearish right now. So that's the monthly chart. 2-week chart in Bitcoin. Let's take a look. Still currently bearish. Price is holding above the 200-week moving average, but if we see like the Nasdaq continue to correct, these larger stocks, we could see Bitcoin, further downside, right? So that's what we're going to continue to watch. But as of right now, still bearish on all the time frames. Even if it's slightly bearish, it's still bearish. So we'll find out if, we're going to either see lower targets hit over a longer period of time, or, it is possible. I think it's less likely, but it is possible this could be, after this bullish divergence, this could be a higher low. I think this is, like I said, is less likely. Then kind of comes back up, maybe hits that third or fourth target, and then comes back down, right? So I removed the third and fourth target because it is less likely, but it is possible that this is a higher low. then it would hit target 3 and 4, trap some more bulls, and then come back down. So that would be very painful for some more bulls. It'd be really painful for some more bears who are expecting it to just go straight down, right? Uh, but if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But the snipers will continue to do it, and we'll do it together. So, all right, that's Bitcoin. I'm gonna do a long. I'll probably try to do a longer video tonight on Bitcoin and maybe one other asset or something else that I'm looking at. Maybe 10 to 15-minute video, and I'll send it out through the free newsletter today. Obviously, it'll be in the Discord as well. All right, let's keep going. Coin. Let's start at the weekly chart, right? Let's kind of map this out. We were talking about coin on this breakout back here on the X app in Discord. Had that buy signal, right, at like $61 on the weekly chart. Had a 4-week pump up in target 1, and that was it. There was it never hit target 2, never hit target 3 or 4. Not all targets get hit. And so you had this bullish divergence followed by a higher low, followed by a breakout. It was still a pretty big move, though. Like, even from the weekly chart, coin was, from the buy signal on the weekly chart, 89% bounce, right? That's from the weekly chart. So if you had dropped down the daily chart, right, then you're looking at from that buy signal all the way up to the wick, assuming that you would catch the wick. And, I most likely wouldn't be catching the wick. Maybe I would catch something around here, and it'd be like a, 80 to 90% of the move, right? But I don't pretend to catch the entire 100% of the move. It's not even part of the strategy. Part of the strategy is try to push it as long as possible up into a key target area. And then if it starts to break back down, lock in those profits, right? So what is it doing now? Let's look at the weekly chart. It's bearish, right? After hitting this target, we had targets mapped out to the downside. They hit all of those, kind of bounced, looked like it putting in a lower high here. And then there was a sell signal on the weekly chart, and it's continuing back down. And so it is bearish on the weekly chart. You can see there was another RSI sell signal. Looks like the lower high here. So what coin was a potential buy the dip for somebody, but right now it's currently bearish. So maybe if this, we change this to like kind of draw it out like this, right? Maybe the next buy the dip scenario is something like this, right? But it's a long ways away from that, right? This could be happening for weeks, if not months, right? And then maybe price comes all the way back down, and it's like this, it's like this, right? Whatever the price does, puts in a higher low and then comes out, right? So that would be something that I would be interested in personally myself, on buying the next dip, or buying that next, buy the rip, or buy the dip and sell that rip, because that was a quick four-week pump, right? So maybe it's something like that where it retraces, it puts in a higher low. You got a low here after bullish divergence. It's also possible it comes down and puts in future bullish divergence. I think it's less likely, but where price comes down even lower, right? Comes down even lower. And then it's additional bullish divergence. And then I'd be looking for something like that, right? So it's bearish right now. Let's look at the daily chart on coin. We were at 50 minutes. We're going to start speeding it up a little bit. We got a lot more to cover. Who comment who's hit the like button? Let's get some likes going. Let's see. It's still bearish on the daily chart. So after, for example, the RSI sell signal, right? It's just been trending down, hit all these targets to the downside, had that little bit of a bounce back up into, say target 3. And it's looking like it put in like a lower high, and then it's continuing to break down. It's back down into that 4th target area. So it hit all these targets to the downside. I wasn't in that short position, but I was, I had charted it out for other people. And so we're kind of watching it like that, right? So it's bearish on the daily, it's bearish on the weekly chart. And so I'm not seeing a buy the dip scenario quite yet on coin. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. What else do we have? Let's see. Okay, Arnold. Hope you're still here, Arnold. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Let's move this back down. I know I have US oil on here, and let's take a look at it. Okay, Arnold. Yes, normally when the dollar rise, oil. Yes, US crude oil. Normally when the dollar rise, oil tends to drop, but not both of them pumping hard, right? Are you in a short position, or are you looking for a short position, or what are you doing? Because that's the thing, is like what we always talk about, and we're going to always talk about it moving forward, because it's something that gets lost in what I talk about on a regular basis, I think. And I think people forget about it, is number one. And if you're new to the live streams, I'm going to keep talking about it. So if you're going to trade an asset, trade the chart of the asset first and foremost. That's number one. So just because the dollar is pumping and doesn't mean US oil is going to correct. Maybe there's on average you could say something like that, or on average, like if the dollar is pumping, the market is correcting. But I can show you when the dollar was going bullish on the weekly chart in July of 2021, and Bitcoin still, had that rally from July till November, right? Put in that second high. So if you only based your trade based off of and we'll come back to US oil. Let me bring it up here so I can find it easily again. But for example, right, the weekly chart back here on the dollar, June 2021, right? And then we all know, we've all talked about it. You've all seen me talk about it, like when I took that Bitcoin 10x leverage to the upside, thought it was breaking out at 32,300. Talked about it. The dollar was bullish, right? And you can see a lot of macro experts say, oh, the dollar is bullish, so assets come off. Yeah, but it's not one for one, right? It's not, if the dollar is bullish, then all the assets are bearish, right? It's not one for one. You can see that the dollar went bullish in June 2021 and was bullish all the way to October 2022, right? But you can see the NASDAQ rally till December 2021. So let's see. So it already had been bullish for like 6 months before the NASDAQ started to roll over. It already been bullish for 5 months before Bitcoin, rolled over in November 2021. So same thing is like, you just want to be aware that you want to be aware of it. You want to be aware of what the dollar is doing. You want to be aware of what the VIX is doing, the 10-year yield, all these things, unemployment, all that stuff. You want to be aware of it. But as a swing trader, you want to trade the chart that's in front of you, right? So in this case, the dollar is bullish on the weekly chart. The 10-year yield is bullish on the weekly chart. The VIX is bullish on the weekly chart. And I can tell you the US oil is bullish on the weekly chart. And it had a similar breakout to the dollar. So when the dollar broke out, US oil pretty much broke out, and there was a buy signal, and it's hit very similar targets. So if anything, it looks more similar to the dollar. So it's almost kind of like the opposite of that right now. I'm not saying not in the past, but as of right now, if we did like a quick, I'm not going to do it just to save time, but if we did a side-by-side comparison, I can tell you this correction looks very similar to the dollar. The breakout looks similar, the buy signal, and then it's already hit target 2 and looking for target 3, right? There's a pump, there's a correction, breakout, target 2. I mean, it looks very similar to me. So daily chart is ultra bullish, right? So the probabilities continue to increase. We got weekly chart is bullish, daily chart is ultra bullish. You know, I wouldn't personally be looking for a short position here when the weekly chart is bullish. Let's look at the monthly chart. The monthly chart is bullish. It's possible you could put in some like future bullish divergence, meaning higher prices, right? While our side possibly puts in a lower high at some point. So it's bullish on the monthly chart. It's bullish on the weekly chart. It's ultra bullish on the daily chart. Oh, I gotta take a break. I can feel myself getting tired on that. Okay, so that's US oil. So that's just me, Arnold. Let's see. Next one, Jacob. Jacob, let me know you're still here. And if so, I'll do a little bit deeper dive. I know you said this is your first live stream, so I'll do a little bit of a deeper dive on ZIL. Let's take a look at it. It's not my sniper top 40 watch list, which has become quite a bit bigger than top 40 due to all the requests and stuff. So I'm gonna just type in the thing, Jacob on ZIL. You know, let me know what exchange. Since this is the first live stream, typically I have people let me know that it's crypto or stock and or what exchange. Like, is it like a ZIL, USDT, and you're looking at Binance? That way we can chart the same exact chart. So let me just type in ZIL, take a look at it. And the first one I'm going to choose is Binance. I'm going to choose Binance because it seems like it typically has a little bit more history on it. But if there's a specific chart you want me to see, then let me know. So what was it? Potential buy the dip. Oh, Jacob's still here. Binance. Okay, got it. Perfect. Still here. Awesome. Perfect. Binance USDT. Perfect. 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 Thank you. So that's what we have. So let me know. Are you looking for like a potential buy the dip? Are you just what? Or maybe you're in a short position. I don't know, but it helps me put in context of what I'm looking at. But I'm going to go back up here, just kind of keep my place and on it. So that's the 2-week chart. The 2-week chart is bearish. Let's drop down the weekly chart. The weekly chart is still currently bearish as of now, right? Still bearish. Let's see. On the weekly chart, this could be potentially, it's too early to call it, but it is possible that it could be putting in bullish divergence. But as we've seen in the past, is that it could continue to have bullish divergence for much longer than most people will think. Could be a year, could be a year and a half, could be 2 years, meaning price continues to like, make lower lows, right? Maybe you're looking on a shorter time frame. So maybe you bought on based off of like a lower time frame, and then you're kind of thinking about, okay, is that it, right? So on the lower time frame, very similar to some of the other crypto assets that we took a look at this week and on last week's live streams, was that there was bullish divergence, and some of them pumped, some of them didn't, and so this would have been like a hit like target 1 and that's it, and it looks like it could start to be rolling over. So if you're in a long position, like say back here somewhere, right, like somewhere around here, and you got in say here or there, and it was like a small 10% pump, at what point do you take profits, right? At what point do you lock in those gains, right? There's no sell signal yet, but it looks like it could be breaking down just from the eyeball test. This could be the first close below this trend line. It's hovering right on the trending dots, so it could close back below it. The daily chart could flip bearish, while keeping in mind that the weekly chart is bearish, right? So something to pay attention to, but it's not looking like a buy signal for me. It would have to find support, and if it does, wait for the next higher probability breakout, right? So it's too early to say, but it's possible that it could continue to break down from there. All right, that's Zill. What else? What else? What else? What else? Emmanuel. Cass. Okay, let's look at Cass. Do I still have it on here? For time saving purposes, let's go Cass. USDT, right? Okay. In a short currently. Okay, Jacob. All right. I see you. Yeah. So depending on where you took that short and what time frame you are, could see a sell signal in the near future on the daily chart. It looks like it could flip bearish on the daily chart, meaning that it could be a bigger correction. You know, even if it kind of came back down and retested these levels at 0.015 ish area, right? And this is a low, right? Bullish divergence. It could put in a higher low, but even so, could see like a retest here, and then of course it could come back down lower from there. So on the daily chart, it could flip bearish. On the 8-hour chart, it is bearish, right? 4-hour chart, so depending on what time frame you're on, it looks like it already kind of broke down, back tested this trend line a couple times, and it looks like it could possibly break down. So that's Zill. All right, let's go back to Cass. Where is it? Oh, I just did it. Got distracted. Cass. There it is. All right. Taking a short position on Cass with 10x leverage. Ooh, 10x leverage. Emmanuel's been a sniper in the Discord for more than a year. Been following me on the X app for much longer. So let's see. Entry is at 0.046, right? 86. So basically where price is at right now. So basically you either took an entry back here, or maybe when it's starting to break back down here, right? Maybe when it's starting to break back down here, it's close, right? So it doesn't mean it couldn't put in a higher low here, but it's getting very close. It's not bearish on the daily chart yet, but maybe you took it based off of a lower time frame, Emmanuel. Let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart had bearish divergence, right? And this is too early to say, but very similar to the Apples and the Nvidias and stuff. You had that longer term bearish divergence followed by the RSI sell signal, right? Followed by this could be a lower high that's getting put in, and you might be getting it right at that lower high. It's very close right now. And so we could see it possibly starting to roll over, and that could be a bigger opportunity short. But you're on 10x leverage, so you're probably on watching it very, very closely and watching it. So where did you put your stop loss at 0.048, right? So that's a very tight stop loss. 4807. So that's good with 10x leverage. Yeah. So I mean, it seems lined up. So it's just a matter of is it going to break down or not, right? It looks like it is going to break down. Let's look at the 8-hour chart. So 8-hour chart had that breakdown, right? Came back up. Looked like it put in a lower high, kind of playing around with it. Looks like it broke down from the trend line. And maybe by the time this candle closes, it's back down below. So too early to say, but it's kind of a wait and see. And see 0.08, 0.0487. So about up there. Yeah. So just be aware of that. If you're 10x leverage, that's could be a 10%. See there, it was a pending buy signal in real time on the 8 hour. But like I said, by the time it closes, it could be back down here and trading down. And then you're gonna be looking a lot better. So then at some point, Emmanuel, if you get another like close back down below, and you get prices closing back down here, at some point you probably want to consider moving your stop loss to break even. That way it becomes a risk-free trade, and then you don't have to stress about it as much. I'm not saying you are stressed about it, because maybe you're just trading with lunch money right now and it's not the end of the world. Even if you do take a 20% loss on your lunch money, I'm sure the risk to reward ratio is that you have it at least at, make you 40%. If you're going to lose 20%, that'd be a 2-to-1 ratio. So that's what I'm kind of seeing on CAS, and it looks like it's toying with the buy signal off and on, but it seems like it kind of back tests and could be breaking down. Let's keep going. 10:06. Okay. Watching closely and planning to add on higher time frame. Okay. I see. Okay, SQQQ, we covered that. Part of NVIDIA, we're just going down the list. Per 06. Let's say I'm looking for an entry level at this moment. Per 06, let me know you're still here, and we'll do a little bit deeper dive. Reiki, Dicer girl here. What's up? Long time sniper in the Discord. Welcome back. Glad you're back. So usually have me look at the metals, but looks like you want me to have a look at oil. Yeah, we took a look at oil, natural gas. Yeah, natural gas broke out. It gapped up. So unless you're already in the trade, it gapped up and had a buy signal, and now it's a pending buy signal on the weekly chart. We'll definitely cover at least one of yours, but we did cover crude oil, and then natural gas kind of gapped up on that one. So let's go back to per 06. Yep. All right. Awesome. Let's do it. Crux. It's not stock, obviously. Okay. Whew. Ultra bearish on the 8-hour chart. Let's get off of that. Oh, yeah. Potential buy the dip scenario. Let's say I'm looking for an entry level at this moment. It's touching 200. Are you saying an entry level for a buy or an entry level for a short per 06? I'm not looking at a buy here at the 200-week moving average. It's bearish, right? I don't just buy off of support. I know some do, but yeah, no. The short answer is no per 06. I personally am not. Obviously, it's bearish on the weekly chart. It's daily chart is ultra bearish, right? So just because price is overbought, oversold, it could remain that way, and the weekly chart, could continue to push it down. So no, it wouldn't be a buy for me personally. I wait for a higher probability reversals, even if it ends up finding support here. It's going to take some time to get the ship turned around. So there's no rush for me, right? So like waiting patiently for a buy the dip scenario, I don't need to like guess that the bottom is in, because it's trending down, right? It's trending down. So I mean, there's a lot of room to the downside on the monthly chart, right? So if this the lower high, right? So you got a pending sell signal on the monthly chart. What if RSI came all the way back down here? You would see prices all the way back down here, most likely. For sure, it seems like it come all the way back down here. So no, it's not a buy the dip. Maybe on a lower time frame, But overall, you'd be counter trading it, right? So maybe it's a lower time frame, um, but not on a higher time frame. I'm not. So like on the 1 hour chart, you have bullish divergence, right? But again, everything on the other time frames are bearish. So even if you've got like a shorter time frame, like over a day or so, where there's like a pullback, even something like that, it's still bearish over time. So, are you trying to capture these like smaller moves, or is it like wait for a longer term reversal where, it would take time to play out, right? It would take time to play out. I could for sure see prices come back down here if it continues to be bearish on the weekly chart and the monthly chart and the daily chart. So no, especially you get a weekly close below. You've already got a daily close below the 200-week moving average. Could continue to have closes below. It could come back down and test lower areas and be bearish, right? Many investors consider uh, the 200-week moving average is like a bear market. So yeah, no, not a buy for me. So again, not financial advice. In hindsight, this could be support and this could be the low, and it bounces and rallies and comes back up and fills this gap at some point, right? All that could be in hindsight, but I'm not rushing it, right? Because even if it does something like that and then it like bounces up, comes back down, right? It would take some time to play out. And so I'd be waiting for like my this is more my strategy, right? I'm waiting for like the bounce, the double bottom, the bullish diversions, the higher low. I'm waiting for that. Cuz if not, and if that's at, $88 versus $84, I don't care. But what I care about is, oh, I don't just buy off of support hoping for that and it does this, right? That's not my strategy. So that's my thoughts on it. But good to chart something new. Uh, awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Aldo, could we do? I hope that helps per 06. Hope that helps. That's just my own personal mindset. Everyone's got their own strategy, right? So Aldo, could we do BCH? Absolutely. The short answer is yes. BCH, Bitcoin Cash, right? Let's see. What are we doing? Which one? BCH. That's futures. May not have as much history on that. Where's spot? There it is. Okay, we'll do that one. Oh, there, lost it. Okay, so currently, oh, let's take a look. Let's take a look at BCH. So did have that buy signal followed by a sell signal back here. Did have that longer term RSI buy signal. Keep it in mind, the overall markets. Keep it in mind the dollar. Keep it in mind all that stuff as an awareness. You do have a 200-week moving average up here. It hasn't been there hasn't been enough history to show the 200-week moving average longer, but it looks like it had retested the 200-week moving average before the 200-week moving average even came on the chart. Could it find support? We can drop down a lower time frame. BCH, are you in a short? Are you in a buy? Are you looking for a position? What are you looking for, Alda? What are you looking at? Just curious. So you had the buy signal and it went immediately to ultra bullish, followed by a retracement to looks like a key target area, right? Retracement to a key target area. Looks like it's finding support. Doesn't mean it can't, put in bullish divergence similar to Bitcoin and come back up. or put in a lower high, right? So there was a RSI sell signal. Um, could come in, put in a lower high on RSI, and price could put in a higher high, creating that bullish divergence, similar to Bitcoin. If you drop down the daily chart, while you're waiting for that to play out, it is bullish on the daily chart, right? Just a quick drawing that out, right? You've got breakout of the upward trend line. You got a buy signal here, and then you're just kind of waiting, and then it's bullish on the daily chart. So maybe you can kind of see, this looks like target one. This could be like target two, target three, and then like if it came all the way back up here, it's probably would be more surprising to me. So it's possible that, similar to like, just comes up like this, and then maybe it comes back over if it follows the rest of the markets, right? But right now it is currently bullish on the daily chart. So if you're in a long position, Aldo, uh, then and then maybe you're trying to push this as long as possible to hit, another target or so after that. Whew. I've been talking a lot. Uh, hour 15 minutes. We're gonna power through though. Seems like I'm getting a little bit tired. So let's keep those likes going. Let's keep the energy going up. Keep the comments going. And so that's BCH. It currently is bullish. It's possible it could hit some more targets. And then obviously it could also create that bearish divergence where it puts in that higher low while our side puts in that lower low like Bitcoin did on the weekly chart. So something to pay attention to if you're in a long position. At what point do you consider taking profit, right? At what point will you consider to take profit, break back down? Something still like that. Jacob, awesome. What's up, Dicer Girl? Welcome back. Binance, USDT. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we did ZIL for Jacob in short currently. Okay. Yes, sir. Tight stop loss, building on CAS, building the position, but having in mind that it could squeeze higher before breaking down. Yeah, maybe. Seems like you're kind of in a good spot, but you don't want to get overconfident, and you want to be all over that, especially 10x leverage. You want to be glued to those charts. Bye, okay. Jose, hola, amigo. Hola, Jose. Good morning. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. You got it, Rick's Money Makers Helton. What's up, Rick? Per 06. My US age was forgotten. Oh, I know. I forget. I run out of time. You gotta remind me. I'm in my mid 40s. You gotta remind me. I have a pretty good memory, but there's a lot of things that I do forget. So you just got to keep reminding me, Dicer Girl. I'm in my mid 40s. I'm not in my mid 20s anymore, and I don't even have to write things down in my mid 20s. I can remember everything. I'm not, in my mind, I'm not an elite chess player. Not elite. I'm not a lot better chess player like I was in my early mid 20s. I did reach 2,000 rating on 10-minute games back in my 20s. I can barely beat 1,800 rating players now, for fun. Obviously, the best in my family, right? uh, let's see. All right, let's go back up. All right, we're going to cover some of your stuff. Reiki, Dicer Girl, natural gas. Okay. Are you in a position now on natural gas, Dicer Girl? Because, like I said, unless you're already in a position based off of a lower time frame, it gapped up on you, right? So it gapped up. I am. Okay. So did you get in recently, like at 2.855 after the gap, or did you get in earlier or sometime back in here? It is pending a buy signal, right? So for me, the probabilities are increasing that we're eventually going to go retest the 200-week moving average and then hit target one. We've been talking about this for a long time. It's looking strong now, pending buy signal on the weekly. I got in after the gap. Okay. Well, even so, even after like 2.855, right? It's starting to look bullish on the weekly chart. Pending buy signal. You still have 2 days before the weekly close, but it would take out, not here. It would take out this weekly candle close. It would take out this weekly candle close at 2.772. That's a strong move. This is the one that you'd be waiting for if you're looking for all that, the bullish divergence. Looks like a higher low, higher low, higher low, and then boom, pending signal. Doesn't mean it can't, come up like this, come back down, and then hit it, right? So it doesn't mean it can't do that, but it is a pending buy signal on the weekly and a pending buy signal on the daily chart. So, if you got in it just above the gap, be aware of the gap. But as of right now, you're going to want to try to push this as long as possible. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is ultra bullish, right? So you had that bullish divergence followed by the buy signal on the 4-hour chart, right? So that's what I was kind of talking about. If you weren't in based off of the lower time frames where there was the bullish divergence, followed by, a candle close back above the trending dots, followed by a buy signal. If you didn't get in somewhere there, then you're somewhere up here where it's already ultra bullish on the weekly chart. And so you're just going to try to push it as much as possible. And like I said, it's ultra bullish on the 4-hour chart, pending buy signal on the daily. So there could be some room to the upside. You've got this wick here. So you start getting, and you've got on the 4-hour chart, you've got some resistance here. So, you're kind of watching it where it starts closing back above, could mean higher prices, right? So you're want to be pushing it out. And at some point it'll break down, put in a higher low, and then continue upward. So you just got to kind of watch it depending on what your strategy is and look at it from there. We covered oil. And so let's do the USD pair. I must have covered the wrong one. I did cover the euro versus Japanese. So maybe I just covered the wrong one. I thought I did. I thought I did cover one of your requests, but maybe it's the wrong one. Let's see. Oh, Forex. Okay. Let's look at it. Okay. Are you in a long position now, Dicer Girl, on the US dollar, Japanese yen? Or are you looking for... So right now, the weekly chart is ultra bullish, right? It doesn't mean it can't put in bearish divergence longer term. Let's see. Okay, you're in a long position. Awesome. Well, you're trying to push it as long as possible. You got the weekly chart that's bullish. You've got the monthly chart is bullish. Being aware that on the weekly chart, even though those are both bullish, at some point it could put in bearish divergence, but you're just going to want to try to push it as long as possible because you can see where it got ultra bullish back here and it just kept going, right? Ultra bullish back here on the weekly chart and kept going and kept going. And that'd be a massive payday, especially if you're doing Forex with leverage. It's probably a big move. Let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart is bullish. The weekly chart is ultra bullish. So you're still trying to continue to push it. Maybe you're like your mental stop loss. It's currently above this trend line. Maybe that's kind of your mental stop loss. Maybe you got in back here at 140 and you're just kind of continue to push it. I'm thinking about what. Let me see. I'm thinking about money strength, but not sure how much room this has to run. Yeah, it's hard to say, but it is bullish right now, right? And it is ultra bullish. So if you have price coming into a key target area, maybe you take some off the table. Maybe you take 50% off and try to keep letting it ride. Maybe you have this upward trend line, and if you push it as long as possible, maybe it spikes up, comes back down, and once it comes back down like that, right? Then that's where you decide to kind of take profit. Or, if there's like that bearish divergence in and eventually it breaks back down, maybe you have this kind of drawn out like this, right? And so, you've got like, you see it kind of go ultra bullish, right? Starts putting in that bearish divergence and then breaks down. And that's where maybe you decide to like kind of take that profit on there and try to push it as long as possible. I'm in at 143. 143. Okay, so it was most likely based off of a lower time frame, right? So wow, 143, great job. So 143, and most likely it's probably leverage too, right? Are you in a leverage position? But 143. So just try to push it as long as you can, right? Or take some profit off the table at a key target area that you have mapped out. But the daily chart is trending towards possibly going ultra bullish as well. So, hold on. 10x. Oh my God. All right. So I got to do this. 143. Oh, I'm so happy for you. So 143. We'll just call it 142.998. So you're almost up 50%. So congratulations. Almost up 50. So 60, 70, 80, 90, right? So, just know that, you're watching this very closely, right? And you're watching the upward trends. You're watching upward trends and you try to push it as much as possible. Maybe this is coming into a key support area. Maybe this is a key support area and maybe you're going to take, a percentage off the table at a key support area. And then you start seeing like bearish divergence, and then you see price come down, and boom, you close out the rest of your thing. So this is when I started getting itchy fingers. Well, the thing is, like, that's not a bad thing. You've got your intuition. You've got you're up 50%, right? It's been a massive move, and you're probably really good at holding a losing position, right? This is where the money is. You're up 50%. It could become 80 or 90, but you do want to lock in the gains at some point. But you just took out this level, right? It's closing above. Could start closing back above here. So at some point, like, it could go ultra bullish, like I said, and start moving up faster and faster, right? So let's see, 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is ultra bullish. So you can kind of watch that, right? So as you're getting 4-hour closes above, maybe you're just watching it kind of move up, right? So do your best, push as long as you can, but you're already up 50%. So, it's okay to have itchy fingers if you're up 50%. All right, let's go on. Let's see if hopefully that helped, but it is bullish right now. Congratulations. Oof, that's nice Spanish right there. Not really, Emmanuel. Not really. I appreciate you saying that. That's why you're El Jefe. That means the boss, right? Buenos dias. That's about it. Other than that, I can maybe order cerveza, a beer, right? That's about it. Other than that, I have like, growing up in Mesa, Arizona. I speak a little bit of the slang Spanish, just like I'm speaking most of like probably English slang as well. It's not like proper English. Uh, but I can say a few things that we probably shouldn't say in the live stream. So, anyways, okay, let's see what else. Do we have any other requests? Ooh, hour and a half. John, S&P 500, great help. Awesome. Awesome, Dicer Girl. Reiki. John, S&P 500 about to hit the 200-day moving average. Not the 200 week, but the 200-day moving average. All right, let's take a quick look. We're at an hour and a half. Oh, we got viewers on here. Awesome. This man don't miss. This man don't miss. All right, let's see. Well, I do miss. I do miss. I'm not 100% accurate. I do miss. I do miss. Options, contracts expire, other things are involved. Ooh, NASDAQ breaking down more, right? NASDAQ is breaking down in real time. We could see the next target hit in the very near future. I wonder if we're getting a weekly pending buy signal. Not yet. Could be closing in on a pending sell signal, not buy signal, pending sell signal on NASDAQ in the near future. Let's look at these futures right now. Let's look at silver. There was that sell signal on silver. We're talking about that consolidation. It's breaking down. Could be breaking down from this consolidation upward trend line. Come back down, test the 200-week moving average. Gold. Oh wow, gold is breaking down hard. Gold is ultra bearish on the daily chart. Gold is a pending sell on the weekly chart. It's breaking down hard. It's looking like silver could hit the retest the 200-week moving average. Looks like gold could follow the leader of silver in this case, come back down, hit target 2, hit target 3, and then possibly hit this. It's bearish on the weekly chart. It's ultra bearish on the daily chart. The candle is cold as ice, right? Cold as ice. Wow. Okay, let's look at SP 500, John. Where is the futures? There's the Dow Jones. Yep, Dow Jones had a weekly sell, right? So it was kind of leading the way. Dow Jones had a weekly sell on the. It is having follow through. Looks like the 200-week moving average. I know you said the 200-day. We have a pending sell on SP 500. This is the 200-week moving average, sub 4,000. I think many would be surprised. If we saw price come back down to 200-week moving average. It's starting to feel that way. It's starting to feel like we're going to get an overall bigger correction. Let's type in the two. Let's change it. Let's change the inputs to the day. Yep. So this is the EMA, John. I don't know if you're just looking at the regular moving average. They're very similar, but they are a little bit different. I usually have the regular moving average on. It's by accident I have the EMA on. I couldn't find it. I take it on and off. I just use it as like a bookmark anyways for prices. I don't, it's not part of my strategy for targets or anything, but it's just more of kind of an awareness thing. I do like to kind of look at it. It's already hit it on the futures. So maybe here's SPY. SPY is already below it, right? SPY is already below it. So that's interesting on the weekly chart. SPY already had the sell signal. It's a pending sell in the futures. I have an EMA. Okay, awesome. So you're seeing the same thing. So SPY is already below it, right? So it's looking like it's longer term correction, right? This is kind of like the last stand for the bulls right here. If you're ultra bullish, you're hoping that it finds support here as a bull. Otherwise, you're looking at bigger corrections, right? Where's the March 2020 lows? Where is it? Where are we looking at? Where is it? No way, right? No way. No way SPY comes back to the March 2020 lows, right? No way. No way. So we'll see. It's breaking down on the weekly chart. SPY is bearish, had a weekly sell signal. SPY could be closing back below the 200-week moving average. You can see the last time it did that was back in what was that? January 2022, right? So when everyone didn't think there was going to be a bigger correction, closed back below and it was bearish, right? It was bearish. So is that going to happen again and then coming back down these lower prices? We're going to find out. Russell has been bearish. Again, back to the futures. Dow Jones. Ooh. The Dow futures. Where's the March 2020 lows? Way back here. Way back here. Okay, there it is. I'm not in a Dow Jones futures short, and there's contracts that expire anyways, but that would be a 46 move from where it's at right now. From the sell signal, it'll be a little bit more. From this lower high, it's probably about 50 to 55%. Okay, I think that's it for the requests. Let's just take a quick look. All right, no sell signal on the NASDAQ weekly chart yet, but it looks like it's going to soon. Is the Dow Jones leading the way? Is SPY ETF leading the way? Is pending sell signal on SP 500? You got the 200-week moving average. You got the S&P 500. You have SPY below the 200-week moving average already, right? So did I switch this back? Let me switch it back. Let me make sure. Nope. Nope. All right, there it is. Oh, so that was a 200-day moving average. All right, so you got the 200-week moving average down here, the 200-day moving average up here. So SPY is already below that. So it seems like a fair deduction that NASDAQ could be lagging time-wise, and that price comes back down, hits target 2 on the NASDAQ, right? Ooh, 10-year yield continuing to look ultra bullish on the weekly chart, 4.62%. Oh, live on the stream. Did we just hit target 3 on the stream? Not yet. Not yet. It's pumping right now, though. Coming into target 3 live on the stream. Doc, good morning. Where were you? Doc, where were you? Were you late? Are you just waking up? It's 10:30 my time. Doc, absolute awesome analysis. I appreciate a lot. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate you saying that. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everyone's here. In real time, are we going to see the DXY hit target 3? After it hits target 3, will there be some consolidation? We don't know. That's a lot of speculation. What we do know is it's ultra bullish on the daily. It's bullish on the weekly chart, and it's bullish on the monthly chart. So that's what we're watching on the DXY. We're watching the yields. We're watching the NASDAQ breakdown. You got the monthly trending dots down here at target 3. So that's another confluence point. Not a reason why I created a target, but I love to see like the trending dots, the 200-week moving average, stuff like that, kind of line up with my targets. And that's below 14,000. That's at 13,000, 381-ish, right? You got the 200-week moving average sub 13,000 at 12,200. I think many would be surprised, just like they were back here. And then, of course, you've got the March 2020 lows back here, right? So we're going to find out if it's going to hit that. Target 3 is going to hit target 3 in real time. I don't think so. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the likes. Tom, listening live as I drive. Oh, I got to show this comment here. Tom, longtime Discord sniper. He's actually the wisdom sniper in the Discord as he volunteers his time. He writes great things in the wisdom. He's got his own channel. He's got a lot of wisdom. He's a successful retired business owner. He's got a lot more money than I do. we won't call him out how much money he's got, but he's got quite a bit more money than I do. I aspire to be Tom. Tom is awesome. He is the wisdom sniper. So he gives us great wisdom, things to think about. He does it out of the kindness of his heart to help people. And he's in the Discord as the wisdom sniper. So shout out to Tom, listening live as I drive. That's good. We don't want you watching the charts while you drive. So I'm glad you're listening. Thanks, everybody. If you're on the replay crew, thank you. Make sure to comment any assets you want me to chart. I'll do my best to remember for the next live stream, or tag me on the X app, the Discord, whatever it is, and let me know what you want, what you're looking at. I can look at it for you. It's good to get a second pair of eyes on it. Appreciate everyone. Emmanuel, thanks, Jesse. We'll see you tomorrow. You are sharing massive value here. It's incredible. This is daily too. Yep, we'll do our best to do it daily. Awesome. True. Per 06, true. Thank you. Hour 40 minutes. And I'll see you tomorrow on the next one. I appreciate everybody, and peace. Later.